Are we ready?
All right, we're good.
All right, we're up and going.
On Facebook.
Well, hello everybody. My name is DJ Kev. You know me from the Hat-Trick Entertainment group, as well as the 30269, the Bubble radio station. And we are back here again for Ask Bill and Kate Thursday nights at 8. And we do this each and every Thursday. And tonight we have a special guest with us. Before I introduce our special guest, let me state that Bill and Kate are the stars of the show, and they're here, and they are part of the Hafer Group and Southern Classic Realtors. So, and then before we proceed, this guy gets a little upset if we don't introduce him. This is the mascot Escrow. So yeah, right. So our mascot Escrow. Yeah, right. All right, so we have a special guest here tonight. Once a month, we like to have a guest on the show, and tonight we have Daniel. Now, hopefully, I get this right. Kalamaro.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Does that work?
That's accurate.
Do you say Maro or Morrow?
I usually say Mara.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daniel Kalamaro is from the Clifton Law Firm in Fayetteville, and he's here tonight with us, and we'll be asking Daniel some questions as well. So with that being said, Daniel, can you give us a brief overview of who you are?
Sure.
And what kind of law you practice?
Sure. We, as a firm, do a lot of real estate. We do civil litigation, and we do some criminal defense.
Okay.
We are pretty active on the real estate side, I will say
Okay.
that, especially these days.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm originally from Atlanta. My
Okay.
wife is from Fayette County,
Oh, wow.
and she works for her dad, and
Okay.
that's what brought us down here.
Okay. Very
so
good.
we've been down here 5 or 6 years now,
Okay.
and they won't get me out of here unless I'm in a wooden box.
Oh, wow. I hear you. So your wife's from Fayetteville, right?
She is.
And
yeah.
you're in Atlanta or North Atlanta is where you're from?
I was born at Piedmont Hospital.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So real Georgia peaches here, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're rare.
They're not transplants, okay, guys? These are real Georgia peaches
Yeah.
here. All right. So.
Do you miss Atlanta? Do you miss living there?
No.
Oh.
No.
It's like me in Miami. I'm from South Florida. I go back down there to see hurricane games, and I can stand it for a week, but I'd never move back there. It's a different animal.
Yeah, no, I think even in the last 5 years, the traffic, COVID notwithstanding, the traffic has gotten
Yeah.
worse. It's
Yeah.
so much more congested than when we lived up there. And this is just a wonderful place for kids. They love the golf
Yeah.
cart, and
Yeah.
I have no interest in going back.
Yeah.
Yay.
That happens to a lot of people that come here. I mean, even from, big cities like Chicago and LA, obviously, and they come here, and it's just something about Peachtree City and Fayette County, man, that they just want to call it home, and if they do leave, they come back,
Yeah, it's weird. I think I was talking to somebody once, and they said like the sight of the golf carts, it makes it feel like it's vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, like when you're at the beach, you see them
Sure,
and stuff
sure.
like that. So you come down here and you just see people like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, but they're not thinking about it, and so from the outside it looks very strange. I remember
Yeah.
seeing the first one
Yeah.
crossing over 54, and I had to do a double take.
Yeah.
And now that seems totally normal to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny how it sticks.
Absolutely. You just backing up for a second, you had mentioned something about Atlanta and the traffic. You want to know something that's really weird? And when the pandemic hit last year, my wife and I had gone up to Helen, and we decided to come back at like 2 in the morning. We were supposed to stay there and eat breakfast the next morning with some people. Well, we left at 2 in the morning to get back down because the dogs were restless. We had them with us. We drove through Atlanta, and I kid you not, did not see a single car going through downtown Atlanta, and that was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I had the whole road to myself going through Atlanta, the main interstate, Highway 8575. You want to talk? I don't know how many people experienced
That's eerie.
that. It was real
Yeah.
eerie. I thought it felt like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's like they had that picture in Times Square about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Where there was just like one guy crossing,
Yeah.
whatever,
It's
42nd Street or something
Man,
like that.
it was like-
it was
was there-
weird. It was eerie.
like after a nuclear holocaust or something.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
smokes, man. All right, so today was April Fool's. Did you guys? Now I'm probably sure it's probably hard to get one over on you because you got to know your people are pretty good on April Fool's Day. So did anything happen with any of you guys today? Anything at all?
Well, we had a planned event that kind of bombed out at the last minute,
Oh.
But we got it done, and we were supposed to go on Facebook Live at Grinds and Wines to pull the name out of the hat.
Yeah.
We did get it done, but I had already, typed in, it's going to be done in a half hour, and I'm looking, and Bill is still in Sharpsburg. I'm like, he's
Oh,
so
no.
slow. So then I typed, Bill is so slow. I gotta go because I have an appointment, but join Bill, and he's going to have to dine without me. We're going to do the live in like 6:15ish or something.
So who won?
So Muriel Bexler won.
Okay,
So I
Muriel
put that up.
Bexler.
Yep. I
Okay.
tagged her, messaged her, and all
Okay.
that. So.
All right, so
Neat.
nobody was the recipient of any April Fool's jokes.
Oh,
I
this
was
to be
supposed-
ends?
I was actually supposed to be part of playing
yeah.
a prank on somebody
Okay.
really big.
All right.
But that
But
didn't work.
It didn't work.
logistics broke down at the 11th hour, and we
Oh,
were
no.
postponed
Okay.
until next year.
All right. Well, I don't have anything to say either. I kind of was, I had
I guess
a
we're boring.
radio show this morning. Stayed 2 hours over with Chris. Did post production for his golf show coming up, and then went and ate lunch. Then came back to the radio station. So yeah, nobody got to me to prank me. So please let's not make it happen
My
tonight.
cat.
Yeah,
So
we
you
All right.
allergic?
we put peas. No, I'm not
Good.
allergic to cats. We
She
put
knows
peas
you
in my
have
kids' cereal this morning.
Is that
You
right?
did?
They were not fans.
Uh-oh.
That's funny.
Hey, kitty.
All right, so here we go. We ask that you guys send in questions each and every week. You can text them. You can leave questions and comments on the the page, the subscribe page. And we have questions here that we're going to start with. We have one from Tyrone. Dean from Tyrone asks, "Can I put my home in a trust, and how do I do that?"
The answer is yes. The longer answer to the second question is to hire an attorney.
Okay.
That's your first step.
Okay.
Preferably me.
There you go, guys.
So I would have a couple of questions for Dean. The first is whether or not the trust has been formed.
Okay.
I would want to know whether there is a mortgage on that property.
Okay.
And I would like to know what kind of trust it is. There are a handful of things I'd want to verify to make sure they were done correctly.
Okay.
It's a document drafting exercise from there.
Okay.
But there is a little bit of homework to be done before you can transfer it into a trust. I also kind of I'd be interested to know what the rationale for the transfer would be.
Okay.
What's the real advantage of a trust and putting property in a trust?
So there's a handful. There could be tax advantages. There could be tax consequences, I suppose. But it also gives you the ability to transfer the piece of property so that you can use it for different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you needed to, for example, provide for a disabled child or something like that, that might be an idea.
Okay.
It would be a way to get it out of your potential estate, depending on how the trust is drafted. There's a handful of reasons why somebody might want to consider transferring a piece of property to a trust, but like I said, I would want to dive a little more into.
Sure. Sure.
I'd want to have Dean come into my office and chat
There
with
you
me
go.
for a few minutes.
Well, there you go, Dean. You have an open invitation, my friend. Daniel Kalamaro with the Clifton Law Firm in Fayetteville. So,
What's the phone number?
yeah, absolutely.
770-828-7339 is the office number. My cell phone number is generally available as well. 770-337-8534. Give me a call.
Yeah, there you go.
Talk to you.
Right? So, there you go. Hey, Dean, you can't beat that, man. Not only did you get your answer, but you have an attorney in waiting. So, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
That works. All right, so we're moving on to the PTC bubble right here, Peachtree City, aka the bubble. Teresa from the bubble says, "What is a homestead exemption?"
A homestead exemption is an amount that you can reduce from your property taxes.
Okay.
So different people are entitled to different exemptions. I believe 62 is the age at which you can remove certain property taxes. The homestead exemption is probably going to save the average person about $100 a year.
Okay.
But as I often say, it's if you go by tax commissioner's office, you are a day late today. It would have had to have been filed by yesterday. But next January, go to the tax office and fill out the paperwork, and you will save yourself about $100 or so a year.
Okay.
It's not a ton of money, but as I frequently say, if you do not want it, I will happily take it. So yeah, I would recommend it. It's very easy to do. It takes about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Strongly recommend it.
Okay. There
Shelly
you go.
says she wishes she was here. Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Shelly.
What's up, Shelly? All right, so that was Teresa from Peachtree City. Thank you, Daniel, on that. And we have, interesting name for this time in day and age. Annabelle from Fayetteville says,
Okay.
I just got married and want to add my spouse to the title. Can I do that and how?
The answer is yes. I have a 5-year-old son, and I think he has a crush on a girl named Annabelle.
Train him early.
He has a funny way of showing it, but I think so. So the answer to the question is, if you're married and you would like to transfer the property into each of the spouse's names, well, there are a couple of things I would want to know. I'd want to know if there's a mortgage on it, because that lender, do I taste good? The lender you'll want to get lender approval before you do it. And the reason is because in a security deed, so the document that secures the lender's loan, there's something called a due on sale clause. And so any transfer of the property from A, even if it's to A and B, could potentially trigger their right to call the entire amount outstanding of the loan due. So you always want to get lender approval. The other thing is, I would want to speak with Annabelle, I believe was her name.
Yes, Annabelle.
I would want to speak with her so that she understood that by transferring that property from her to her and her new spouse, that it would become a marital asset.
Okay.
And it would not have been had she not transferred it. So before you do anything, you want to get lender approval, and then you want to go into it eyes wide open on the potential consequences of that transfer, because it could be expensive.
Sure. So there's a lot of bases to cover, Annabelle. Obviously, Daniel knows these bases and the coverage you need. He's hit and covered every angle, and ones he has not covered, you need to come and see him at the Clifton Law Firm in Fayetteville, Daniel Kalamaro. There it is, right?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, say it a few more times.
Yeah, right. So there you go, Annabelle. Job well done, right? Very informative and covers every base. That's important. That's like an attorney, though. You got to know every angle.
I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so.
Definitely. All right, so we're moving on to Sharpsburg. Dennis from Sharpsburg says, why can't I close on my home on the weekend or national holiday? Ooh.
That's a good question.
Okay.
The answer to that is actually fairly simple. It's hard to get money on those days. So as it turns out, when people sell property, they like to get their money. And I can't give you money on those days. So the lender often will not allow it to happen on a weekend because they want to see documents before you disperse money. But ultimately, I can't issue a wire during not regular banking hours.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to come in on a Saturday morning and do signatures, but as long
outside of that.
Yeah, as long as the expectation is set on the front end that there will be no money dispersed, and
All right.
that's usually
His hands are tied at that point. Okay, if the banks cannot, effectively execute transactions and transfers, you can only go so far. So there you go. All right. So Dennis, my friend, there you go. All right. So now let's move on to. Now, should I say Sonoya? Sonoa? I know there's like
some people say Sonoy.
Sonoy, yeah, Sonoy, Sonoa.
Except the police department when they answer the phone.
Right.
This is
Okay, so Troy from Sonoya, which we'll say it that way, which I have for many years being in this area. How long does a typical closing take? What do I need to bring? Who needs to attend? And what if I can't attend? So let's start with how long does a typical closing take, and then I'll.
So
the others.
for a cash transaction,
Whoa.
it can be a pretty quick turnaround.
Okay.
I would expect somewhere around 2 weeks for a cash transaction. For
Okay.
a conventional loan transaction, probably about a month is pretty normal.
Okay.
And for VA or FHA financing, or I suppose even USDA financing, these days anything goes. But it's probably, I would be hesitant to expect it to close in less than 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
I
Okay.
think that's fair.
All right. And what does Troy need to bring?
Money for one.
There you go. It does make the world go round.
Yeah. No, he'll want to just bring an ID. Two forms of ID is usually required, but as long as we have money and an ID and a live person who matches what his ID says,
Okay.
that's usually about all we need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who needs to attend?
The buyer, the seller, me, a Georgia closing attorney,
Okay.
and we can get another witness, but there will be some documents that need to be witnessed by a third party.
Okay. All right. So buyer, seller, and closing attorney. Daniel Kalamaro, Clifton Law Firm in Fayetteville. There you go, Troy.
Yeah, and Troy, you said he's in Sharpsburg?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
Sonoya, actually.
Oh, Sonoya, okay.
Sonoya,
So our
yeah.
Fayette office is probably more convenient. We also have one in Noonan, though it's currently
Oh, okay.
it's currently not operative for I think obvious reasons. But yeah, we also have one of those as well, and we will be opening a McDonough office.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, covering the south side for y'all.
Very good. Absolutely.
And then Kevin, we missed that last piece of the question. What if I can't?
Well, yeah, that was coming up next, Bill.
Well, you look like you were ready to turn the cards.
Not at all, my friend. I
I wanted to get away.
have coverage too over here, man. All right. All right. So, no, thank you though, because you know I could be forgetful. So, but anyways, the last part of this question with Troy from Sonoya says, "What if I can't attend?"
So if you can't attend, there are a couple of potential solutions. The first is to have a power of attorney.
Okay.
So you say that I, Bill, want Kate to sign for me.
Which I've done.
Yeah. It's on the buyer side, expect to have to take the signer out to dinner because it's a handful. Maybe a couple of drinks too.
Okay.
But the other option is, about a year ago, Governor Kemp issued an order that allowed for things like remote notarization. Now, the process can be a little clunky, but we can do that as well.
Yeah.
It's not preferred because I just think something gets lost in the communication when you're not face to face. There's a reason we're in this room right now.
Yeah.
And so it's not something that I generally prefer doing. I'll do it in a pinch. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times now. But those are the primary solutions if you cannot be in the room for the closing. The only caveat I would say is that for the remote closing, you have to be within the state of Georgia.
Okay.
So.
All right. So see, yeah, that, to me, I mean, this is one of the most. It's probably one of your biggest purchases of your life. I would want to be face to face in every phase of it. You know what I'm saying?
I would very much like to know what else you're buying if it isn't.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Hey Daniel, does your firm support mail away in the worst case scenario?
Absolutely, we do. I guess that was a third option. That was my mistake. Yeah, we can absolutely do a mail away. Again, though, we need to know up front so that we can set expectations with the lender and make sure that process goes smoothly. Because again, there are things that come up. There may be questions, and so to the extent that we can address those early or at least get people to have the things that they need to address them on their own, that's another option. Yeah.
Okay. Troy, there you go, my friend. Very well done, man. You should have full faith and confidence moving forward with your questionnaire. So, all 4 parts. So, all right. Let's move on to Noonan. Miguel from Noonan says, who chooses the closing attorney, and can any attorney close real estate loans?
So, the party that chooses the closing attorney, first of all, Miguel, I hope you and your family are safe in Noonan.
Yeah, absolutely.
and hope you didn't have too much damage done to your property. So generally speaking, the buyer selects the closing attorney. Every now and then you'll see the inverse where the seller does. Oftentimes that's with like new construction.
Okay.
So you'll have somebody who's building a house. They have their own attorney who they like to use, and that's fine. It's a negotiable point. It's not a hill I think most people die on. But if you want to use the firm, it is my firm. You should die on that hill. I strongly recommend it. Generally speaking, because the buyer drafts the contract and they present it to the seller for execution, they'll put in whoever the agent typically uses for their closing attorney.
Okay, great. All right, there you go, Miguel. All right, last one, and we're going to skip through this pretty quickly. That was not Carrot Top.
Didn't he look like a rock star?
He did, yeah.
That's my son Andrew.
Okay.
He looks like a rock star.
Yeah, it's the
He
hair.
is a rock star.
Yeah. So that, and he went skiing recently, and up in where was it, Tennessee or Kentucky or somewhere. I said, look, man, you got to play the Shaun White card, man, to the fullest. You know, he's the wakeboard guy. He was going snowboarding, and I said, you will kill it up there, man, with the ladies. You got to do the Shaun White.
I didn't know you could ski in Tennessee.
Or up in Kentucky or somewhere.
It was Tennessee.
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah, wake snowboarding or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some little slopes in the Smokies.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
All right, so we have Eric from Brooks. This is the final question. Wants to know, what is title insurance and why is it good for me to have, and why is there lenders and owners title?
So, first of all, the first answer to that is, like all insurance, hopefully you never need it.
Sure.
Right? The reason you get title insurance is, generally speaking, in the event of either, for one, we're dealing with an issue right now. We're supposed to have a closing next week. But the attorney who drafted that in the warranty deed in 2004 screwed up the legal description. And so they drafted a document in which the seller conveyed property that he did not have. So the owner has a problem in that they do not own the property that they think they do. They may have legal ways to solve that problem, but those, as it turned out, they don't happen fast. They sure don't happen in a month. Okay. So that's one reason why you might want title insurance in the event of a mistake in drafting that is otherwise not curable, that would call into question your title. The other is in the event of a fraud, fraudulent conveyance earlier in the chain of title. That's another reason. There are a whole host of them. I mean, sometimes you have the seller conveys the property twice, and so it's, without getting into the weeds, like, you can run into problems if person A conveys the same piece of property to person B and person C, and neither of them know. It can be a problem. The reason that there is owners and lenders policies is because there are two people who have interest in the property. So the lender is looking for security, because if there's a problem with the title, the owner probably is going to not be making his or her mortgage payment.
Sure.
So they want to make sure that that's insured on their side. But just because the lender is insured does not mean the buyer is insured. And so if he or she has put forth some money towards the property, they would probably be very interested in recouping that.
Absolutely. So, very good. All right, Eric, there you go, my friend. So that was Eric from Brooks. All right, that concludes our questions for this week. We appreciate everybody for the questions that are sent in. And for those that are watching for the first time, please, you can text or comment questions. Go to the Hafer Group page and look for their link to subscribe to their blog and newsletter. All right, so here's a lawyer joke for you, Daniel.
Okay.
What do lawyers wear to court?
Yeah, they're briefs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
A lawsuit and sometimes briefs.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It was funny when my dad and I had here in town when this is back in the early 2000s. We had an ad specialty company called Better Image here in Peachtree City, and he had his attorney he bought him some boxer briefs and said, "I'll see your ass in court" or something like that.
Okay.
And to give to him that his lawyer friend could give out to his customer.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the thing with lawyer jokes, you see, is that the people who hear them don't know that they're jokes, and the
Yeah.
lawyers who hear them don't think they're funny. So.
Yeah, to us, I mean, I'm looking at that going, I'm laughing
Yeah.
my tail. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's funny, you
Yeah.
know, on a pair of boxers.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we do game time.
Okay.
You know, at the end, with every guest that we have, we do one a month, a guest, and so game time this week is this is going to be a game called Lawyer Up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's sort of like Wheel of Fortune, but without the wheel and without the money. So then it's no
Is
fun.
Vanna White here?
Yeah, I know, right? So then it's no fun, but yes, it is. We're going to guess the phrase that Kate will be providing the letters to one by one, and Kate will give us hints
And you guys are
too.
gonna sit over here.
So
trying to
let's
get
do this. So here we
Okay.
go. All right.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune, everybody. Wheel.
We've got our own, we've got our own special
Fortune.
Vanna White here.
All right, so this is a
Oh,
quote.
what happened here? Like
Something when you flipped it over, it might have caught the thing
maybe.
and ripped
okay.
coming back.
All right.
So this is a quote.
You guys play at home too. Actually, it's a quote from a movie.
Oh.
Sorry if I didn't say that before.
You can't handle the truth.
That's it.
Oh, boom.
Oh, the rookie pulls it
Right.
out.
And what was the movie?
A Few Good Men.
Yep.
Yes, there it is. Ding, ding. Double down. Nicely done. All right. So Daniel won, and the rest
Okay.
of us zilch. All right.
Let's see.
You can't handle the truth.
All right. All right. This is another famous quote from actually a court case.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all need another hint.
Oh, yeah. This is a Johnny Cochran one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit. Boom! Get you some love from O.J. Simpson case.
Yeah.
What? If the glove does...
Don't fit.
Don't fit.
Boo! That's right, it has to be dead on. So, yeah. Oh, I should have looked at it. Yes, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. All right, well, that's 2-0. I didn't get it right.
All right.
Very good. Nicely done. Now, here's a movie.
This is, yes, lawyer movie, okay?
Oh. The Lincoln
Come
Lawyer.
on. Yes.
The Lincoln
You
Lawyer.
got-
Yes, there we go. Got one, the Lincoln Lawyer. Boom, take that.
Take that.
Yeah.
Take that, Mr. Two to nothing
I
over
wasn't
there.
going to guess that, no.
All right.
All right, another lawyer movie, okay?
Movie, lawyer movie. All right, here we go.
My cousin Vinny.
No, I was just
Oh,
about to say
nice.
that, dude. God, good job. Oh, it just hit my head when you said it. I was like, ah. Very good. 2-1.
All right, and here's another lawyer movie. I'll give you a hint. Jukebox. Wait, no, pinball machine. Sorry.
Pinball machine.
Yeah.
Oh.
James at our firm has actually taken to restoring pinball machines. So if you need somebody who has legal background and also wants to restore
The accused.
That was a tie. So we both have 2s. It's 2-2-2 across the board, man.
Okay.
The accused. That was a dead up tie, bro.
Okay, this is lawyer TV shows.
All right.
Okay.
God bless the people who watch that.
Better Call Bill.
Better call Sal.
Oh, Saul. Damn. Oh, God. From the jet, from, it's a spinoff from,
Yeah.
Breaking
Breaking
Bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's
Man.
another lawyer show.
The Firm. No. I had the number of letters right.
All Rise.
Yep.
Boom.
All right,
3-3-2.
and last one.
Oh, here we go.
Lawyer TV shows.
Raising the bar.
Yep.
Wow, very good. Ended up in a 3-way tie. 3-3-3-3. How
All right,
about that?
that's it.
Oh, it's a tie. Boom, boom, boom. Good job, man. Way to hold your own. No pressure on that, right?
Thank you.
Look who took your seat.
Yeah, nice.
Pebbles. Oh, meow, meow, meow.
All right.
Oh, meow, meow, meow.
Well, there you go, guys. That was our version of the Wheel of Fortune. It was ended up in a 3-way tie of 3 points. So we certainly allow or appreciate Daniel for letting us come back. I think he knew all those answers, really. But
Now, I'm going to brag on Daniel a little bit. We got word from our good friend Shelly that Daniel, he traveled all the way up to Vinings, right?
That is true.
To help a lady out in a nursing home because she had to close and she didn't have a vehicle to get, she was in a nursing home, and am I saying that right?
She was in a nursing home, yeah. I don't know who asked the question if you can't be at the closing a little bit earlier, but
Yes.
I suppose that's another option. We will come to you if we need to.
yes.
I mean, there you go. That's awesome.
So
Let's see. Who is at the close? Okay, yeah, I think that was Miguel. All right, so I have a fun fact here, guys. Fun fact is Washington, D.C. is home to most attorneys.